We've already established how XRP is going to be fundamental in the near future. I mean, I talk about it a lot. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then pause this video and check out my other uploads on this channel. Don't worry, we'll wait for you. Now that you're all caught up, we can continue with today's topic. Will settlement happen soon? And when can we stop expecting a settlement? Guys, let's face it, at one point, we now have to come to terms with the fact that Ripple and the SEC will not settle, but rather they will wage an all-out war on each other until one becomes the victor. That said, today is going to be quite informative for you, so strap in and let's get started. As always, welcome to Money Side, your favorite crypto channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you get updates when we upload new videos. Don't forget to smash that like button. Remember, you can always leave a comment or question in the section below.
Ripple is a private company. We're based in California, about 300 or 400 employees around the world, and we're trying to solve a problem. We're selling technologies to banks and financial institutions to solve a cross-border payments problem. To be clear, we have not focused on the central bank digital currency issuance. Our view is very much there needs to be interoperability globally, and even in a world of CBDCs, you still need interoperability to solve that problem. Also, before I dive in, my comments are more focused on kind of explaining how Ripple's approaching this problem as opposed to just CBDCs. But I thought it worth spending a moment on how we think about blockchain at large and why it is such an interesting technology and I think appropriate for central banks and commercial banks to be looking at. For me, the novelty of any blockchain technology is the ability for two parties to transact without trust, but with certainty. So today, anytime we transact, we are transacting through a central counterparty, whether that be a correspondent bank where Ripple is focused, or that be a Visa or American Express, what have you. The opportunity around blockchains is to change that dynamic. And I think many industries, whether it's payments, what we're talking about today, or securities, or even loans, any of those transactions, I think, can be disrupted and made more efficient through blockchain technologies.
Ripple is, without a doubt, a fundamental part in transactions and the future of banking, be it CBDCs or just simply faster and better transactions. But this future has been halted because of the ongoing case between Ripple and the SEC. Thankfully, we have rumors going around that this court case will likely end in a settlement, and that could happen sooner rather than later. We all know that Brad Garlinghouse carried on with this fight, not just for Ripple and himself, but for the whole crypto community. This court case is a testament to how far the crypto community is willing to go just to get clear regulations for their future. Without a doubt, Garlinghouse has shown us that the crypto community isn't fighting to hide from the law, but rather to work alongside the rules that govern our lives.
Regulation, that's something that you have dealt with a lot of. Maybe not your favorite part either. You are currently a part of a lawsuit by the SEC. They sued you. This is old news by now, but they sued you in 2020 alleging that XRP is a security. You have taken the unusual step of fighting back versus going for a settlement. I won't go too much into the play-by-play, but give us an update in terms of what is happening now. You have said that, or at least your legal counsel has said that they expect a resolution by 2023. Does that still feel like that's the case?
I think that definitely feels like the case. I mean, look, it's incredibly frustrating to be a citizen of a company based in a country that is behind almost every other country in providing clarity around crypto. I mean, even here in Canada, Canada has approved a Bitcoin ETF. The US has not. I think there's so many examples where the US has been out of step with other G20 economies. And again, I'm not talking about random, small countries. I'm talking about like major economies who are providing that clarity and certainty. As you described, the Securities Exchange Commission sued Ripple saying that our sales of XRP were investment contracts. It's a kind of a nuanced point. And to your point, we fought it. I think it is so important to fight it, not just for Ripple, but for the whole industry. The SEC, I think, is a hammer. And when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And the current chair of the SEC has said he thinks probably everything except for Bitcoin is a security. That's a pretty bold statement. I think it would be very negative for the US crypto industry. And it's the reason why I think a lot of people are moving outside the United States to build and invest in or speculate in various crypto projects.
We now have a massive change that's going to happen in the financial industry, and several elites have come out to say so in interviews. So where do you think XRP is going to fit in this new upcoming chain? If you listen to this interview, there's something that stands out. We now have two financial systems working concurrently, and that means we need something to bridge the gap, or as Francis would say, one will likely collapse. To bridge the two, you need a system that can work both with blockchain and the old school financial system that's already working. Who do you think they're referring to? XRP, duh. It's the perfect engine for this. The RippleNet framework will help financial institutions give their customers better experiences when it comes to transactions. More importantly, banks and other financial companies will have access to the on-demand liquidity, which helps to create the perfect system for their clients. At the same time, this type of system utilizes blockchain to their advantage. Therefore, these banks will need XRP to run their transactions over the XRP Ledger network. And voila, the perfect harmony between fiat and crypto. This ecosystem will bring forth new innovative technologies that will benefit both crypto and fiat. In the long run, crypto and fiat will exist only to better our lives instead of trying to wipe each other out of existence. Now tell me, that doesn't sound like the ideal environment for innovation. Now, in more interesting updates today, we can see that just the other day, IMF, the International Monetary Fund, another major Ripple partner, tells us that money is now on the cusp of a transformation that could reshape banking, finance, and even the structure of society. Most notably, the era of physical currency or cash is drawing to an end. Even in low and middle income countries, the age of digital currencies has begun. A new round of competition between official and private currencies is also looming in both the domestic and international arenas. The proliferation of digital technologies that is powering this transformation could foster useful innovations and broaden access to basic financial services. But there is a risk that the technologies could intensify the concentration of economic power and allow big corporations and governments to intrude even more into our financial and private lives. Traditional financial institutions, especially commercial banks, face challenges to their business models as new technologies give rise to online banks that can reach more customers, and to web-based platforms such as Prosper, capable of directly connecting savers and borrowers. These new institutions and platforms are intensifying competition, promoting innovation, and reducing costs. Savers are gaining access to a broader array of saving, credit, and insurance products, while small-scale entrepreneurs are able to secure financing from sources other than banks, which tend to have stringent loan underwriting and collateral requirements. Domestic and international payments are becoming cheaper and quicker, benefiting both consumers and businesses. As we wind down on today's video, I want us to look at a couple of tweets from attorney Jeremy Hogan. Hogan tweeted out saying that as of now, the most likely time for a settlement is between now until the end of November, because the cards will be on the table. Now, a couple of months back, we had seen a couple of theories that support why we are more likely to see a settlement in September, especially it being the last day of the SEC's fiscal year. And this is something that I agree with, as I also think that if the SEC wouldn't want to settle the case between the SEC and Ripple, they would want to do that towards the end of their fiscal year. Jungle Inc. even took us back to a couple of significant cases that ended towards the end of the fiscal year, notably the SEC's case against Tesla and Elon Musk. All the same, there's also a chance that this case could extend further, especially if the SEC would want to see more of the evidence that Ripple brings to the table. But it's crazy if the SEC believes that at this point they still have any chance of winning this lawsuit. So far, the SEC is pretty much screwed, and they have also ruined their relationship with the judges. For that reason, it would do them a lot of good if they just find a way of getting out of this lawsuit as soon as possible. All the same, if this case is not settled by the end of November, that will be confirmation that the lawsuit will go the distance, and that could continue till mid-2023. As always, do your own research. Always trade safely, guys. Please keep in mind we're not a licensed financial advisor. All videos on this channel are intended for entertainment purposes only. You can always let us know what you think in the comments section below, and let's have a conversation. Thank you so very much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and please click on that subscribe button below and turn on notifications so you get informed whenever we post our amazing content. We'll look forward to seeing you on the next Money Side.